let's work on the base of the folio. You have your main part and your flap closure. Right now you print on both sides, in front and back, and I'm facing the outside of my folio up so that I can score. So for the closure flap, this measures 8.5 high by 4 inches wide, and you're gonna score at 3 inches and 3.5 inches. For the base, the main part, this measures 8.5 high by 11 inches wide, and you're gonna score at 5 1/4 and 5 3/4, which allows you a 1/2 inch spine. If you want to take a snapshot of that. Okay. And what we're gonna do is glue the main part to the closure flap to the first score line, but you want to glue it close to but not past it. Okay, so let's put a little bit of glue. And we're gonna butt the edge up to that first score line, but we're not gonna go past it. And this is the inside. So when you close it, it'll be like this and like this. So you have plenty of room for your ephemera, and there's something else that I want to add on there. Okay, moving on. Okay, so the next step are the accordion flap covers. It'll all make sense when we start putting the folio together. So you're gonna need 4 pieces. You can cut them all the same, out of the same paper, or you can do the top and bottom different, or however you wish. So these measure 5.5 inches high, both the top and the bottom, and then 5 inches wide, both the top and the bottom. And you're gonna need 4 altogether, but as you can see, I cut the top with some images and the bottom sort of more muted. And you're gonna score, so watch your orientation. So like these have images, and I want them to be when they flip down, I want them to be right side up like this. So I'm going to score a 1/2 inch from the top edge, 1/2 inch from the top edge, and these flip downward, so you're gonna score a 1/2 inch from the bottom edge on each of these two. 1/2 inch at the top, 1/2 inch at the bottom. And for your if you want to take a snapshot. Okay, so let's bring back our folio base. This is the inside. We are going to put our flap closure to the left, to the right, and so these are gonna go like this. And we're gonna glue them actually, this is probably easier. So you're gonna glue it centered left to right, and then just butt up to the edge. Same with the bottom. You want to center it from left to right and just flush with the edge. So put a little bit of glue. Doing the bottom. center it and flush. For inquiring minds who want to know, that little glue bottle is actually Elmer's glue bond, and when it emptied out, I replaced the glue with art glitter glue, so it's not actually Elmer's, but it's a tiny tube, so I thought it was kind of practical. But I may need to relearn how to not over squeeze. Me and my glue happiness. Okay. I'm gonna flip this so I can see. So centered from left to right and flush to the top edge. And we'll repeat that on the right side. Also centered and flush. Centered left and right and flush to the edge. I know right now you're like, what is she doing? It'll make sense in a minute. All right. So this flips up, this flips down. Okay. Now, moving on to the next step. Let's work on the accordion pieces. So, you're gonna need 2 pieces for the left, 2 pieces for the right. The way it's going to go, and I'll show you in a minute. This flap, it's a glue tab. This folds in. This one is just folded in half, and it will go in here, and then this gets glued here, and so then it'll open that way. Oh, before we do that, also you're gonna need some small flips, and those will go wherever you want on here. It doesn't matter, but it will flip like this, so that when you open it, it'll open like that. Okay, so let me give you measurements. So I'll explain here in a second. The accordion pieces, the 8x10 is the one that flips out and has the glue tab. The 8 1/8 by 10 is the one that's half fold. Okay, and then for the small flips, it really is up to you, but this is what I did. You can actually just cut it to where it's this wide and then 1/2 inch score, and not have, you know, the extra flap. So that's up to you. But and you can also glue these 2 sides, because that's a fold, and create a pocket if you don't want it to be a flip. Okay, so this right here we're gonna score. This is 8 inches high by 10 inches wide, and I scored with the side that I wanted it to flipping out like this. So I put that face up. This is the left side now, and you're gonna score at 4 3/4 and 9 1/2. The little glue tab folds over, valley fold, and this center line you mountain fold, so downwards. Okay, so this is your glue tab, and this is how we're gonna do it. Then for the one that folds in half, one of them is gonna fold this way and the right one is gonna fold that way. So you're gonna lose one of the images because you're gonna glue it down. So this one measures 8 1/8 by 10, and you're gonna just fold it in half. I rather fold it in half than score it, because sometimes scoring doesn't guarantee dead center. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna flip this over, and you have your little glue tab there. I didn't distress it so you can see it, so let me distress it so you can see it. Hopefully, yeah, there you go, you can see that better. Okay, so this is a valley fold, remember, so it's folding up, and what we're gonna do is glue this edge. This is the inside. We're gonna glue this edge up to the score line, as so. And this one's 1/8 of an inch higher than this one, so just center it. So a little bit of glue. And we're gonna butt the edge of the paper up to the score line, but not past. And so this will fold like this. This will fold like this. And it'll flip out like this. All right, so before we glue the whole ensemble down to the folio, we need to we need to glue this one to here. Okay, so we're gluing this to this. And it doesn't matter where you put it, it's up to you. Oh no. I have my junky shirt on so I can wipe glue on my shirt. I think I've mentioned that in other videos. I'm just gonna leave that open. All right, so let's do this one on the bottom. Okay. You want to make sure that when you flip it, that it closes. So if it's too snug, it won't close properly. Okay, there we go. So now we're going to apply glue to all sides. See what I mean? You're gonna lose, half of the paper, but it's okay. So let's add some glue. And you're gonna center it from top to bottom. And it should be as wide as your pocket flips. I keep saying pocket flips. Your flaps, your accordion flaps. All right, so this is the way it will go. So this flips up, this flips down, This flips out, this flips open, this flips open, and this flips open. Hopefully there's enough flippy floppies for you. Okay, so we're gonna repeat that for the right side in opposite direction. So here is the right side. This is the outside. This is what I want to show on the outside as I flip. So you're gonna score at, oh, this one also measures 8 by 10. I'm sorry, 8 1/8 by 10. Oh Lord, I was right the first time. Pay attention to the measurements on the little sticky notes, not to what I say. So this is 8 high by 10 wide. You're gonna score at 1/2 inch and at 5 1/4. You're gonna valley fold and you're gonna mountain fold. And that's what it'll look like. Okay. So let's flip this out. This is the outside, what I want showing. And then this is the one, we just did one face this way. We're gonna do this one face to the right. The opening is to the right. So let's glue this up to the score line, but not past it, centering it top to bottom. And just butt the edge up to the score line. Did I mention you guys just to stress as you please? I don't remember if I said that. Okay, so, and now for the flip. So this one, same thing, I put the glue tab on the right. The other one was on the left. So we're gonna glue this to the back of our fold. Hopefully this is making sense. And this one I'll just put to the top. And just shy of your score line because there's a lot for this to flip, you know, over. So maybe, you know, close but not up to your score line. Okay, and now we'll glue this to our folio. I don't know if I'm liking this little tube because a lot of glue comes out. Even the nozzle from the glitter glue is thinner. All right, center from top to bottom, left to right. It should be just as wide as your flaps. And flip out, flip out, flip out, and flip out. Fold, 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 and fold. Haha. Okay, so moving on to the next step. Okay, you guys, we're on the home stretch. So an element that you probably didn't expect is a signature in our folio. I printed 7 pages on 24-pound paper, and it measures 8.5 high, which is the height of the folio. You can make it shorter if you want. And it's just shy of 5 1/4. And the reason it's not 5 1/4 is so that it's not butting up to the spine of the folio. So yeah, so shy of 5 1/4. And that's folded. And then before we do that, I want to show you that I reinforced the spine both on the outside and the inside. I cut these little strips. They are the height of the folio, 8.5 inches high, and just shy of 1/2 inch. Remember, our spine is 1/2 inch, so you gotta do just shy of 1/2 inch. And I did both spines on the outside and also on the inside. And then the only thing left without reinforcement is the closure flap. So what I did is cut like a mat that will go here, and it will reinforce, I give it some sturdiness, some strength. So this is 8 1/4 high by 2 3/4 wide. And if you noticed, I rounded my corners. They weren't rounded before, and then I rounded the corners on here. So if you notice, I went back to my art glitter glue bottle. Look, I got the hang of the art glitter glue bottle. The other one was just crazy. Okay, so just give a little strength to our flap. And for the signature, we're gonna do 3-stitch pamphlet. And I am going to punch. I already punched, but I'm going to show you how I did it from the outside, because if some of you may know, when you punch, you have or when you poke, you get like a burr on the opposite side. So if you poke from the inside out, then you have these little bumps here, and I don't care for those. So I'm going to poke from the outside in. So I have a foam block here, and I had already poked my signature. So what I did is, to ensure that I have the same holes, I centered my paper on the spine, and then I went ahead and plunk, plunk, plunk. You like my sound effects? I poked holes. Okay. Then on the inside, I had the little bumpies, so I have this pokey tool, and it has a rounded corner, and I just kind of mashed them down so that they're not poking up. Yes, I know, I'm OCD, I'm sorry. All right. I don't know if you got a shot of that. So I've got a needle and some thread ready to go. I do it 3 times the length of the project, just cause to be on the safe side. I don't like to run out of thread. We're going to start by inserting our needle. You probably know how to do this, but for those of you that don't know, so we insert our needle through the center and through the center of the folio and bring it out. Maybe my hole's not big enough. There you go. And you want to pull until you leave yourself a tail to tie off. Then we're going to go to the top hole, and maybe if you're lucky, no, you can get through. Oh yeah. And bring your thread up. And we're going to go all the way to the bottom hole, through the signature and through the folio. And back through the center. This one might be tricky. Make sure you don't split your thread. And make sure that you have your thread straddled from the center thread. So here's your center thread. You want one to the right side of it, one to the left side of it. And you're going to pull, not so hard that you tear the paper, but that it's snug. It looks good. And we're going to tie a knot. And it's up to you if you want to leave tails or clip them off. I think I'll clip it off. And there we have a signature. So I can put Velcro here. You can put the little button so you can tie. You can do did I say magnets already? Magnets. What else? And for the closure, same thing. You can add Velcro. Wrap it with some sari silk, a ribbon. You can add a charm here. And so let's take a quick look. So front, spine with your signature, the back, open, open, flip up, flip down, flip out, flip right, and flip right. Your signature, and same thing here. Flip up, flip out, flip down, flip out, flip left, flip left, flip left. How cute is that? I love it. Thank you, Miss Carolyn, for creating these gingies. I love them so much. I have tons of ephemera cut out that I will be decorating it with. And I want to show you before I go, my sort of prototype. I had already done videos on it and everything. And then I realized after I put it together that 1/4 inch was not going to be enough for all the flip outs and the signature, and that was not including the ephemera. So this would have been gator mouth. So I had to redo all the measurements and well, not all of them, but some. And so it's similar, except I did the base of the folio with craft paper instead of just printing front and back. But it's basically the same. And I took the signature from this one and used it on the other one. But yeah, it's basically the same. But so I just wanted to show you that you could also do solid base and then just mat your sections. So I hope you enjoyed that. I think it turned out awesome. I love it. Have a great day. Be blessed.